Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Gates channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama updates and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. Now, let's jump straight into today's exciting update. Last week on Beyond the Gates, fate quietly began weaving together two lives that neither Deanna nor Noah could have imagined would intersect in such an unforgettable way. Inside Orphe Jeans, what started as an ordinary day suddenly turned into an awkward and humbling moment when Noah found himself unable to pay for his slice of pie. His credit card had been completely maxed out. He had no cash in his wallet, and even his phone had died before he could transfer any money. Just when embarrassment threatened to overwhelm him, a complete stranger stepped forward without hesitation. Deanna, seeing someone in genuine need rather than someone to judge, offered him a simple $20 bill that rescued him from the uncomfortable situation. It was a small act of kindness, but in that brief exchange, something quietly sparked between them, a warm, effortless chemistry neither of them expected. Before they went their separate ways, Noah handed her his phone number so she could text him her Venmo information later and allow him to repay her once his phone had enough battery. They walked away, still strangers in many ways, never realizing how much that fleeting encounter might change the direction of both of their lives. There was something refreshingly different about the energy between Deanna and Noah that lingered long after they left Orphe Jeans behind. Their conversation had been playful, filled with lighthearted flirting and genuine smiles that came naturally instead of feeling forced. For viewers who had watched Deanna spend so much of her recent time obsessively focused on tearing apart Vanessa and Joey's relationship, this chance encounter revealed an entirely different side of her personality. She looked happier, softer, and more open to possibility than she had in a very long time. It was almost as if the burden she had been carrying briefly disappeared in the company of someone who knew absolutely nothing about her complicated life. Noah, meanwhile, continued on his own unexpected journey, leaving the restaurant and making his way to Garland Memorial, where another emotionally charged reunion awaited him. There, he unexpectedly crossed paths with his father, Dr. Kyle Rollins, and the atmosphere instantly shifted from playful romance to unresolved family tension. The meeting between father and son wasn't without its uncomfortable moments as old frustrations and lingering emotions quickly resurfaced between them. Their relationship had clearly been carrying emotional baggage, and those first exchanges reflected just how much remained unsaid. Yet beneath the tension was an unmistakable willingness to repair what had been broken. Instead of allowing pride to drive them further apart, Noah and Kial gradually worked through their differences, finding common ground where conflict had once dominated. By the end of their heartfelt conversation, Noah agreed to stay at his father's home, giving both of them another chance to rebuild the bond they had nearly lost. Kial also made it clear that he wanted Noah to become the new general manager of the free clinic, encouraging his struggling musician son to embrace a more stable future. That decision carries enormous significance because it means Noah isn't leaving town anytime soon. Rather than drifting away, he is planting roots, making it increasingly likely that the unexpected connection he shared with Deanna will have room to blossom. According to spoilers for Tuesday, July 28th, destiny brings them together once again as Deanna and Noah reconnect, giving their charming meet-cute and exciting second chapter. Elsewhere, Nicole continues navigating one of the most complicated love lives in Fairmont Crest, and surprisingly, she seems perfectly content with the situation she's created. For months, she has successfully balanced relationships with two different men, refusing to rush into choosing one over the other. Every time the subject comes up, Nicole insists she isn't ready to give up what she has, savoring the comfort and excitement each relationship brings in its own unique way. Yet subtle emotional shifts are beginning to emerge beneath the surface. Her relationship with Kyle continues growing stronger, offering her a sense of stability and genuine connection that becomes harder to ignore with each passing day. At the same time, Carlton remains someone who understands her deeply, someone whose familiarity offers comfort during uncertain moments. Even though Nicole has finally stopped fantasizing about Ted, his presence somehow continues to linger around the edges of her emotional world, refusing to disappear completely. With so many complicated feelings pulling her in different directions, it's no surprise that she turns to her sister Danny, hoping to receive some relationship advice. Unfortunately, Danny may be the last person Nicole should be seeking romantic guidance from right now, even if Nicole doesn't realize it yet. Unknown to her, everything changed during the devastating tornado when Bill and Danny shared a shocking moment that remains hidden from the rest of the family. Nicole continues approaching her sister with complete trust, unaware that Danny is carrying secrets capable of reshaping multiple relationships if they ever come to light. That dramatic irony hangs heavily over every conversation between the sisters, creating emotional tension that viewers understand even when Nicole cannot. Every piece of advice Danny offers now carries extra weight because it comes from someone struggling with her own complicated emotions and hidden truths. Nicole believes she is simply seeking wisdom from someone she loves, but the audience knows there are dangerous undercurrents flowing beneath these seemingly innocent conversations. It's the kind of emotional setup that quietly builds suspense, leaving everyone wondering what will happen once the truth finally surfaces. Meanwhile, another emotional storm is brewing after Eva and Chelsea's live stream unexpectedly shakes Kat to her core. During the broadcast, Eva courageously opened up about her transplant journey, sharing deeply personal experiences in hopes that someone facing a similar struggle might find comfort and inspiration. Her honesty resonated with viewers exactly as she had hoped, transforming her painful experience into something capable of helping others. Yet while countless people found hope in Eva's words, Kat experienced something entirely different. Instead of inspiration, she felt fear. Watching the overwhelming support and admiration flowing toward Eva left Kat convinced that she might lose yet another important person in her life to Eva Thomas's undeniable charm. Those insecurities quickly created distance between Kat and Chelsea, turning what should have been an uplifting moment into the beginning of an emotional rift. Refusing to stand by while friendships unravel, Naomi steps forward and decides someone has to intervene before the damage becomes permanent. Taking matters into her own hands, she attempts to broker peace between Chelsea and Kat, hoping honest conversations can heal wounds before resentment grows too deep. Naomi recognizes that misunderstandings often become far more dangerous when left unaddressed, and she refuses to let silence become another obstacle separating people who care about one another. At the center of it all remains Eva, whose only intention had been to share her story for the benefit of others. Her live stream accomplished exactly what she hoped it would, touching lives and offering encouragement to people facing similar medical challenges. But the emotional ripple effects continue spreading in unexpected directions, proving once again that even the best intentions can have unintended consequences when complicated relationships are involved. As Ava's inspiring story continues attracting attention, another opportunity arrives in the form of a media interview that promises to shine an even brighter spotlight on her remarkable journey. Yet almost immediately, that opportunity becomes threatened by someone who simply cannot resist making every situation about herself. Leslie, Eva's mother, predictably inserts herself into the unfolding publicity, determined to become part of the narrative, regardless of whether she belongs there. Instead of allowing her daughter to enjoy a moment of well-earned recognition, Leslie attempts to hijack the interview, shifting attention toward herself in classic fashion. It's a frustrating but familiar pattern that continues defining their complicated relationship. Just when Eva should be celebrating the impact of her courage and resilience, she once again finds herself competing with her own mother for the spotlight. The emotional conflict threatens to overshadow a story that was always meant to inspire hope rather than create fresh family drama. While those tensions continue simmering, Andre remains haunted by the mysterious gift that unexpectedly appeared at Danny's doorstep, and the unsettling mystery refuses to loosen its grip on him. Tuesday marks the fourth consecutive day of Andre being visibly rattled by the strange delivery, suggesting whatever secret lies behind it carries far greater significance than anyone initially suspected. Unable to shoulder the burden alone any longer, Andre turns toward the one person he consistently trusts for guidance and emotional support, Ted. Desperate for relief, he attempts to reveal the secret weighing so heavily on his conscience, hoping that speaking the truth aloud might finally lift some of the pressure crushing him. Yet one word continues standing in the way: attempt. That single detail hints that Andre's confession may never actually happen. Whether fear silences him, circumstances interrupt him, or something else prevents the truth from emerging, it certainly appears that his painful secret will remain hidden a little longer, ensuring the suspense continues building. As one secret refuses to be spoken, another relationship suddenly races forward with surprising speed. Shanice finally gathered the courage to express the feelings she had been keeping inside after Ted recently confessed that he was falling in love with her. Rather than leaving him uncertain, she admitted that his feelings were completely mutual, creating a beautiful moment of emotional honesty that had been building for quite some time. Their mutual confession opened the door to exciting new possibilities, filling the future with hope and promise. Yet almost immediately, Shanice begins making plans for what comes next, looking ahead instead of simply enjoying the happiness of the present moment. If those plans revolve around building a future with Ted, viewers can't help but wonder whether she might be getting carried away by the excitement of new love. Is Garland Memorial's beloved nurse allowing herself to dream too far ahead too quickly, or has she finally found the kind of relationship worth believing in? As hearts open, secrets remain buried, families struggle to heal, and unexpected romances begin taking shape, Tuesday's episode promises an emotional journey filled with hope, uncertainty, and dramatic twists that could change countless lives forever. The promise of Deanna and Noah's reunion carries a quiet excitement that feels impossible to ignore, because sometimes life's most meaningful relationships begin with the smallest, most unexpected gestures. What seemed like nothing more than an awkward encounter over an unpaid slice of pie now has the potential to become something far more significant. Neither of them knew the other's story when they first met, and perhaps that was exactly what made their connection feels so genuine. There were no expectations, no complicated histories, and no hidden agendas standing between them, just two strangers sharing an authentic moment of kindness and warmth. Now that fate is bringing them back together, the spark that first flickered inside Orphe Jeans has another chance to grow into something real. For Deanna, who has spent so much of her energy consumed by schemes and personal vendettas, Noah may represent an entirely new direction, one built not on manipulation but on possibility. For Noah, whose life has been filled with uncertainty as he struggled to make it as a musician, Deanna arrives at a moment when stability is finally beginning to return, making their reunion feel less like coincidence and more like destiny quietly taking control. That sense of new beginnings is mirrored in Noah's changing relationship with his father, a bond that only recently seemed impossible to repair. Their confrontation at Garland Memorial reminded viewers that family wounds rarely disappear overnight, especially when years of disappointment and misunderstanding have created walls between the people who love each other most. Yet, despite the emotional friction, both father and son chose reconciliation over resentment, allowing honesty to replace old bitterness. Kial's invitation for Noah to stay with him wasn't simply about offering his son a roof over his head. It was a heartfelt declaration that another chance still existed for their family. Even more meaningful was his encouragement for Noah to become the Free Clinic's new general manager, a position that could provide purpose while allowing him to remain close to the people who matter. Noah may still carry the heart of a musician chasing dreams, but he now stands at a crossroads where responsibility and passion no longer have to compete. His decision to stay in town doesn't just reshape his own future, it quietly strengthens the possibility that his growing connection with Deanna will have time to evolve into something neither of them expected. Across town, Nicole continues balancing the emotional complexity of her love life with remarkable confidence, even if those around her may question how long such a delicate arrangement can survive. She has spent months refusing to choose between the men in her life, insisting that she's perfectly content leaving her heart open to multiple possibilities. In many ways, she genuinely believes she's in control of the situation, carefully navigating each relationship without allowing one to overshadow the other. Her connection with Kial continues deepening through mutual respect and emotional comfort, creating a partnership that feels increasingly effortless. Carlton, meanwhile, remains the dependable presence who understands Nicole better than almost anyone else, offering a familiarity that cannot easily be replaced. Then there's Ted, whose influence continues lingering despite Nicole no longer losing herself in fantasies about him. Some emotional ties refuse to disappear completely, and Ted remains woven into the fabric of Nicole's life in subtle ways that continue complicating every decision she makes about love. As Nicole searches for guidance, the audience can't escape the painful irony surrounding her conversations with Danny. Every heartfelt discussion between the sisters is layered with secrets Nicole doesn't yet know exist, creating an emotional tension that quietly hangs over every exchange. She approaches Danny with trust, believing she's turning to someone capable of offering honest advice, completely unaware that Danny herself is navigating emotional chaos after what transpired with Bill during the devastating tornado. That hidden truth transforms even the simplest conversations into scenes filled with dramatic suspense because viewers understand that Nicole is seeking clarity from someone whose own emotional compass has been shaken. Danny's silence may be protecting her sister for now, but every secret has an expiration date. The longer the truth remains buried, the more explosive its eventual revelation is likely to become. What begins as innocent relationship advice could ultimately become the spark that ignites an entirely different family crisis. Elsewhere, the emotional fallout from Eva's heartfelt live stream continues spreading in directions no one anticipated. Her decision to openly discuss her transplant journey came from a place of compassion and hope, motivated by the simple desire to reach someone who might be facing similar fears. The honesty she displayed resonated deeply, proving that vulnerability often becomes the strongest source of inspiration. Countless viewers found encouragement in her words, validating her belief that sharing difficult experiences can help others feel less alone. But while strangers found healing through Eva's courage, Kat found herself overwhelmed by insecurity. Watching Eva receive so much admiration awakened fears she had struggled to keep under control, convincing her that Eva's natural charisma might once again draw someone important away from her. Rather than celebrating a friend's powerful moment, Kat became consumed by anxiety, illustrating how unresolved emotional wounds can transform another person's success into personal heartbreak. Recognizing that the growing divide between Chelsea and Kat could become something far more damaging if ignored, Naomi refuses to remain a silent observer. She understands that friendships are rarely destroyed by a single dramatic event. Instead, they often crumble beneath the weight of misunderstandings left unresolved. Determined to prevent that outcome, Naomi steps forward as a peacemaker, hoping that honest communication can rebuild the trust that's beginning to fracture. Her efforts reflect the belief that relationships are worth fighting for, especially before resentment hardens into permanent distance. Whether Chelsea and Kat are willing to lower their emotional defenses remains uncertain, but Naomi's intervention offers a glimmer of hope amid growing conflict. Sometimes all it takes is one person willing to bridge the gap before it becomes impossible to cross. Whether her efforts succeed or fail, her determination reminds everyone that healing begins with someone courageous enough to make the first move. While Eva's story continues touching lives, the attention surrounding her only grows stronger as media outlets become eager to hear more about her remarkable journey. The interview should have been a celebration of resilience, courage, and survival, a chance for Eva's voice to inspire even more people navigating similar struggles. Instead, familiar family dynamics threaten to steal that moment away. Leslie once again inserts herself into the spotlight, unable or unwilling to let her daughter enjoy recognition without becoming part of the narrative herself. It is a frustrating pattern that viewers have witnessed before, one that repeatedly forces Eva to compete for emotional space within her own family. Rather than supporting her daughter's achievements from the background, Leslie attempts to redirect the conversation toward herself, risking another painful clash between mother and daughter. Just when Eva deserves to stand proudly on her own, she finds herself once again battling the overwhelming presence of someone who refuses to let her shine alone. At the same time, Andre remains trapped beneath the crushing weight of a mystery that refuses to let him rest. Ever since the strange gift appeared at Danny's doorstep, an unmistakable sense of dread has followed him from one day to the next. By Tuesday, that anxiety has stretched into its fourth consecutive day, suggesting that whatever truth lies behind the mysterious package is far more dangerous than anyone realizes. Desperate for guidance, Andre turns once more to Ted, hoping that confiding in someone he trusts will finally ease the burden he's been carrying. Yet despite his intentions, uncertainty continues hanging over his confession. Every indication suggests that the truth may once again remain unspoken, leaving Andre imprisoned by secrets he desperately wants to reveal but somehow cannot. The longer his silence continues, the greater the tension becomes, leaving viewers wondering just how devastating the hidden truth will be once it finally emerges. Meanwhile, love blossoms with breathtaking speed as Shanice embraces the future she had almost been afraid to imagine. After Ted courageously admitted that he was falling in love with her, Shanice finally allowed herself to speak the words she had been keeping locked inside her heart. Her feelings were just as deep, and finally expressing them created a touching moment of emotional honesty that neither of them would soon forget. With their emotions now out in the open, Shanice's thoughts immediately begin drifting toward what comes next, envisioning a future filled with possibilities she had only recently dared to dream about. Yet that hopeful optimism also raises an important question. Is she allowing herself to move too quickly, swept away by the excitement of a relationship still in its earliest stages? Or is this simply what it feels like when two people recognize something truly special? As Beyond the Gates continues weaving together stories of unexpected romance, fragile family reconciliation, hidden secrets, emotional rivalries, and dreams of a brighter tomorrow, every character stands on the edge of life-changing decisions, ensuring that the drama ahead will be every bit as heartfelt, unpredictable, and emotionally unforgettable as the journey that brought them here.